know how everything can change in a matter of days. It was all good just a week ago. We beat up on the Chicago Sky a few days ago. 35-point victory. Caitlin Clark triple-double. Indiana Fever riding high. Indiana Fever fans riding high. Caitlin Clark supporters riding high. And then, of course, the dweebs do what the dweebs do. They make up nonsense. They make up lies. And the WNBA validate the lies. The WNBA validates the nonsense. The WNBA validates non-truth.
The Indiana Fever are no longer playing nice. They're threatening to boycott the entire WNBA over what they're calling outright lies. These aren't just rumors or gossip. They're serious accusations of deception. However, no one knows exactly what the lies entail, fueling suspicion and speculation. It seems the Fever might be exposing behind-the-scenes conflicts or hidden secrets the league desperately wants to keep quiet. Is this a strategic power move to gain leverage, or are we on the brink of a major scandal that could rock the WNBA to its core? Stay tuned. Things are about to get intense.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. This dump, this turd of turds known as the WNBA, this damn league can't get the hell out of their own way. They don't get it. They just don't get it. The diva of dump divas, Kat Engelbert, she does not understand how fragile this fan base is. And by fragile, I'm referring to their level of loyalty to pretend basketball, which in this case doesn't exist.
Get ready, because the WNBA drama is about to get even messier than your last breakup. The Indiana Fever, powered by the unstoppable Caitlin Clark, are quickly becoming the league's biggest draw. They're the ultimate crowd puller, the team every sports executive dreams of, and their success is shining a spotlight on the league itself. Ticket prices are soaring, sellout crowds are the norm, and new fans are tuning in by the thousands. The Fever are bringing intense energy, excitement, and attention that the WNBA has been craving. With Clark leading the charge, the team is making waves both on and off the court, turning heads and redefining the league's future.
You would think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should.
Despite the Fever's rising success, the league and its so-called loyal fans are blaming them, claiming they're the problem. Why? Because Fever fans are showing passionate support, or because Caitlin Clark made a tough play on Angel Reese. It's as if the league wants to silence the team's growing momentum and enthusiasm, unfairly targeting their rising star.
This is what started all of this.
It's a flagrant, and then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
Okay, that was it. That noise you heard right there that sounds a little bit like a dolphin was actually a YouTuber called Flight Reacts. A laugh. All right, a laugh that it's my understanding actually gets played during NBA games too. That's what it's all about, because they tried to say that sounded like a monkey.
Let's rewind and view this like a reality show. Angel Reese, famous for her side eyes and smirks, starts the altercation by giving a full back-of-the-head nudge to a Fever player. An obvious move that screams, "I'm here to play rough." Caitlin Clark then responds with a fair, clean foul, completely within the game's rules. Instead of acknowledging the play, the league and fans label the Fever as villains, spreading conspiracy theories about racism in the stands. Angel then becomes portrayed as the untouchable hero and martyr, while the initial aggression is overlooked or dismissed, skewing the narrative away from fair play.
national television. It's been the most polarizing conversation in all of sports over the last 24 hours, rather. Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted, but Slick, do you have an issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul?
Yes, and I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved.
Ironically, Fever fans are the only ones consistently filling seats, buying jerseys, and selling out arenas, essentially supporting the league's paycheck. Meanwhile, the rest of the WNBA watches from the sidelines, stuck in a grumpy audience, as their ratings are overshadowed by one star and her team's dedicated supporters. It's a stark contrast, the fans fueling the league's success, while others seem more focused on drama than growth.
I'm just really thankful. They continue to show up for us, and they make a lot of noise. Like, they're into it. They're not just sitting there. Like, they're invested in this basketball. It's great for our league. It's great for every team that gets to come and play here. I think we've had a lot of great battles, and they've helped us win a lot of games on this floor. So, like I said, hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here and give them a taste of it, because they deserve it. It's been since 2016. So, it's only going to get better and better from here on out.
You can almost hear the murmurs. We want Caitlin to thrive, but not at the expense of Fever fans. In other words, the league aims to grow, but only if it aligns with a narrative of victimhood and stage drama. It's as if the WNBA has collectively chosen that the best way to boost its profile is to sabotage the very team that's keeping the league afloat. Instead of embracing genuine competition and fans' support, they seem intent on creating conflict that distracts from the sport's true potential.
Not a flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark. Listen, I was at the game. If there was somebody being racist or saying shit, obviously boot him, never let him back. I would be stunned beyond belief if that was the case. This crowd, I've sat on the wood for a million games, been in a million environments. The crowd at the Fever game, little girls, families, ladies, nice crowd. You even though it's 100% false, by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was a internet rumor, complete bullshit, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a great crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah, Angel Reese deserved to get her ass booed when she attacked Caitlin on a normal foul. Other than that.
And here's the surprising truth. The same fans accused of racism are the very ones who showed up in record numbers to support their team. So, what's really happening? Is it about racism, or is it rooted in jealousy, a desire for control, and a bitter rivalry fueled by Caitlin Clark's rapid rise to stardom? If you want drama, Caitlin Clark has become the league's most polarizing figure since sliced bread. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, whether you like her or not, is seen as the league's preferred antagonist. The Fever fans? They're being scapegoated for every ounce of tension that surfaces. But the reality is clear. Without Caitlin Clark and the Fever, the WNBA might still be struggling to fill half-empty gyms with free ticket signs and awkward silence. Now, the league is thriving, filling arenas and igniting interest. Yet, those who should be celebrating are trying to shut down the celebration. While the league hesitates, the Fever continue to excel, both on the court and in the hearts of fans. Because in the end, no amount of petty drama can overshadow the true game. Basketball that sells out arenas, jerseys, and makes the sport impossible to ignore. Let the Fever play. Let Caitlin shine. And perhaps the league will realize that growth can be messy, but it's ultimately worth it.
The Fever said they wanted to hone their defensive skills last season. In the offseason, Stephanie White made it a point to drill that idea home. I mean, Caitlin Clark talked about upping her defense, and in the offseason, they picked up a lot of key defenders. They picked up Natasha Howard, who is the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and last season, the Connecticut Sun came in first in their defensive rating. So what did the Fever do? They took Stephanie White, they took Keith Porter, they brought in DeWanna Bonner, and they said, we're doing this.
Let's take a moment to pull back the curtain on this WNBA drama, which has more twists than a pretzel factory. The Indiana Fever are at the center, reigniting the league's spark after years of flickering like a weak phone signal. They have Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's not just breaking records but smashing expectations at lightning speed. Fans are flooding into games, arenas are packed to capacity, Ticket prices are skyrocketing as if fueled by rocket science, and merchandise sales are hitting all-time highs. It's a marketer's dream come true. But here's the twist. Instead of a collective cheer of, "Yes, let's ride this wave," from the league and fans, the narrative has flipped. The Fever and their supporters are suddenly cast as villains, accused of being too loud, too proud, and somehow too much. The kind of too much that threatens the carefully curated story the rest of the league wants to tell. It's like the league's own version of "You can't sit with us," but with basketball jerseys and some questionable officiating about who deserves court time. Instead of embracing this surge in interest, the league seems more focused on silencing the very team and players that are bringing new energy and excitement to the sport.
Today, the WNBA is investigating alleged racial comments that were directed at WNBA player Angel Reese by fans yesterday at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Actually, that game was on Sunday. The Players Union says it supports, on Saturday rather. The Players Union says it supports the investigation and condemns all forms of hate and discrimination.
So, what's really behind all this chaos? It all erupted after that infamous play, the one that sent social media into a frenzy and sparked what looked like a major PR crisis for the WNBA. Angel Reese, often called the league's drama queen and the ultimate embodiment of attitude, got tangled up with Caitlin Clark in a moment that's pretty standard in basketball. Contact, hustle, maybe a little roughhousing. But somehow, what should have been a simple in-game scuffle turned into a full-blown controversy, with accusations of racism, unsportsmanlike conduct, and calls to oust the Fever from the league. Let's break it down. The incident started when Angel Reese pushed a Fever player, a clear, aggressive move, a cheap shot, if you will. However, no disciplinary action or headlines criticizing her. Yet, when Caitlin Clark responds with a solid, textbook legal tackle, suddenly the narrative flips. The Fever fans are branded racists, the league stirs concerns about fan behavior, and media outlets jump into a frenzy, turning the story into spectacle. It's almost as if someone accidentally switched the sports channel with a daytime talk show, transforming a routine basketball moment into a national soap opera. In reality, it highlights how quickly the conversation shifts from basketball to identity politics, overshadowing the game itself.
People just aren't used to the heated intensity of a great rivalry. But in the NBA, we had MJ and the Pistons, we had Bird and Magic. We're kind of used to it. As Caitlin Clark in Indiana hammered the Chicago Sky, it was like 4.5 minutes left in the third. There was a foul. It should not have been upgraded to a flagrant foul. It was a foul. And I really think if you truly respect women's basketball, let them play. Sort of like guys. Rivalries equal ratings. Sports is better with intensity. Animosity is part of it. This is okay. Who cares if Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark? It's not soccer.
But here's where things get even more complicated. The Fever aren't just the new team on the block. They're the reason arenas are packed and buzzing with excitement once again. Meanwhile, other teams and their fans seem to be more subdued, almost like they're watching from the sidelines. You have to wonder, why the sudden focus on issues with Fever fans when they're the ones showing up in droves? It's like blaming the loudest, most passionate partygoers for making the event fun. Other teams' fans remain quiet, their seats empty, their merchandise untouched. And let's not overlook Caitlin Clark's impact on the sport. She's not just a talented rookie, she's reshaping the narrative. Entering a league where veterans were expected to dominate, she's instead grabbing the spotlight, rewriting the story and making sure everyone knows she's here to stay. Clark is selling out arenas, smashing viewership records, and generating buzz that's impossible to ignore. Yet, instead of celebrating her rise, she and the Fever face resistance, driven by jealousy, territorialism, and a touch of bitterness. It's as if the league has forgotten that competition should push the sport forward, not hold it hostage with petty grudges and unnecessary drama. Instead of embracing this new energy, some are trying to suppress the very team and player fueling the league's renewed excitement.
Had Angel or anyone else done the exact same type of a foul to Caitlin, the storyline's different. I don't have an issue with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. I was always taught you don't give up an easy basket, and that's what I thought Caitlin did. My thing with that was stand in it.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
I got no issue with none of it. It's just basketball soft as hell right now on both sides of it. There ain't no damn flagrant foul.
Hear your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? If you don't, either wide open 2 points or, you know, we send them to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It was just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
Then there's the relentless media circus surrounding the league. Every time the Fever take the court, the focus shifts from game on to who's going to spark the next controversy. It's almost as if the league has become less about basketball and more about who can craft the most sensational shade while maintaining a picture-perfect Instagram feed. Angel Reese, with her flair for dramatics and bold personality, is elevated to the league's it girl, receiving the spotlight and media attention. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Fever are cast as the villains, stereotypical antagonists in a storyline that's so predictable it borders on cliché. The fans? The core supporters who are investing their hard-earned money to fill seats, buy jerseys, and boost the league's profile, find themselves caught in the crossfire. Suddenly, supporting the Fever is seen as the problem, and cheering for other teams is dismissed as just being a regular fan. The double standard is glaring. It's as if fans are only allowed to root quietly, politely, and without making a mark. Ironically, this attitude seems to undermine the league's own growth. The Fever and Caitlin Clark exemplify how the WNBA can expand its reach, attract new audiences, and compete with other major sports for attention and respect. Yet, instead of embracing this potential, some in the league appear intent on maintaining the status quo, clinging to outdated narratives, internal politics, and petty rivalries that ultimately hinder its progress. The league's resistance to change could be its biggest obstacle to future success.
Of this audience, they have no loyalty to the WNBA. Their loyalty lies with Caitlin Clark, and that loyalty, it is not guaranteed to extend to the rest of this putrid league. No one is loyal to the dump. No one cares about the W.
Look at the bigger picture. The Fever are bringing in fresh eyes, new energy, and a revitalized sound that the league desperately needs. Ticket sales are soaring, merchandise is flying off the shelves, and social media buzz is at an all-time high. Yet, the media narrative remains fixated on conflict, controversy, and who started it, because apparently, stories about growth and excitement aren't as attention-grabbing as drama and division. This skewed focus underscores larger conversations about sports culture, fandom, and the quest for legitimacy. The WNBA is vying for its place in a crowded sports landscape, and players like Caitlin Clark are pivotal to its rising visibility. Instead of being celebrated as trailblazers, they often find themselves in the crosshairs of jealousy and outdated gatekeeping. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and her supporters are being shielded as if they hold the keys to the league's future, despite questionable on-court antics and behavior that might not be tolerated in other leagues. The double standard is glaring and sends a troubling message. Talent and dedication alone might not be enough if you don't align with the league's preferred narrative. This bias not only stifles progress, but risks undermining the league's credibility and growth potential.
You can just feel the energy from the crowd, like they're also just itching for it, and that's not why you play, but I feel like that's the part of the game I take a lot of pride in. I want to be able to do a lot of different things for this team, and honestly, when I think I get the ball off of a missed shot, off the rebound, I think it's other teams have a really hard time stopping us in transition, and I can just pitch it up to my teammates to fight.
Fans of the Fever, who have shown steadfast support, are being unfairly vilified for their passion and loyalty. The media often ignores the positive contributions the Fever are making to the league, instead fixating on manufactured conflicts and sensational stories. This is a classic case of blaming the messengers, those who champion the team and the sport, rather than addressing the real issues. Moreover, this isn't just about basketball. It's about identity, allegiance, and the underlying power dynamics within women's sports. Who gets to be the face of the league? Who is pushed to the background? The Fever and Caitlin Clark symbolize change, progress, and a new era, while Angel Reese and her supporters embody tradition and control. As the drama unfolds, fans are left questioning which side will ultimately prevail, the old guard or the emerging new wave. The real casualties in this battle? The fans and the sport itself. All the infighting, controversy, and media spin divert attention from what truly matters: exceptional basketball, emerging stars, and a league poised for greatness. Ultimately, the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark represent more than just a team and a player. They embody a movement, a potential revolution in women's sports. No amount of petty disputes or political games can diminish the significance of that spark of change.
I need one word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Dog.
Slayful.
Generational.
Generational. Dominant. Passionate. Amazing. Powerful.
Historical.
Legendary.
Ready.
Explosive. Badass.
Indiana.
Awesome. Amazing.
Amazing. Extraordinary.
And we now have a statement from Mel Raines, who is the head of PSNE, saying, quote, "We are aware of the allegations of inappropriate fan conduct, and we are working closely with the WNBA to complete their investigation. We stand firm in our commitment to provide a safe environment for all WNBA players."
So, let the Fever play. Let Caitlin dominate. Let the fans cheer loudly and proudly. The future of the WNBA depends on embracing this energy, not trying to suppress it. If the league wants to grow, it must choose whether it's supporting progress or clinging to the status quo. Right now, the Fever and their supporters are doing the heavy lifting, both on the court and in the stands. The real question is, will the WNBA recognize this opportunity before it's too late? Only time will tell, but while some try to extinguish the Fever's flame, they're only fueling the fire. Watch closely, because Caitlin Clark and Indiana are transforming the game, and this momentum isn't slowing down anytime soon. Stay tuned, because the WNBA just became much more exciting. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.